Hello again and welcome to Better Living Concepts. This is our book club series and we are right in the middle of David Wolfe's book, The Sunfood Diet Success System. My name is Ryan and this is my wife Janine, and we're glad you're with us, and we're going to get right to it on this one because we want to get to the conversation on because it was so good. So let's jump right into the reading. We'll be right back. The Sunfood Diet Success System by David Wolfe. Lesson 19. Mineral trade-out. Vitamins are never an issue when eating raw plant foods. All raw plant foods, even if not in an excellent quality, are abundant in all of the vitamins we need to thrive. For instance, the B vitamins may be found in deep green leafy vegetables, nuts, seeds, bee pollen, royal jelly, spirulina, and fermented plants. Vitamin B12 was addressed in Lesson 16, Wild Food. Vitamin C is found in many fruits, especially citrus fruits and peppers of all kinds. The best source of vitamin E is the avocado, olives, and mechanically separated raw rice bran. This lesson is about minerals because it has been my experience in studying nutrition that minerals are far more important than vitamins. Colloids are the mineral building blocks of the body. All colloid is minerals suspended in solution with energy. They are extremely small and resist the pull of gravity. They conduct electricity throughout the body. The sun evaporates water from the leaves of plants, concentrating the protoplasm solution. Thus, due to osmosis, the movement of water from an area of greater concentration to an area of lesser concentration, water containing soluble minerals is spirally suctioned up from the roots into the leaves of the plant. In this way, the protoplasm is continuously concentrated and the leaves become loaded with colloidal minerals suspended with sun and earth energies. Each plant mines a different spectrum of minerals from the soil and provides a different nutrition to the body. Calcium, lime, however, is the primary leaf mineral. Interestingly, calcium also makes up about 50% of the alkaline earth mineral matter of the human body and is found in all bodily tissues, but chiefly in the bones, teeth, and the muscles. The importance of leaf minerals for the human body cannot be overstated. When we consume plant leaves, we are provided with fresh colloidal minerals with which to construct our bodies. We can see the colloidal leaf minerals precipitate out of freshly made green juices if we allow the juice to sit and lose energy. As a juice loses energy, zeta potential, it begins to change from an alkaline medium to an acid medium. It no longer has the energy to hold minerals in suspension. This is what happens to the blood as it acidifies from poor nutrition. The blood no longer has the energy to hold minerals in solution, and thus minerals precipitate out in all the wrong places, such as the muscle tissue, joints, bones, etc., causing arthritis, weakness, bone spurs, etc. Some types of arthritis occur when the blood acidity is high. High blood acidity means low blood energy and low blood solubility. During this state, minerals are not held in solution and thus precipitate improperly. Arthritis is typically the result of a meat-based diet. Meat, raw or cooked, is extremely acidic, thus meat lowers the blood's energy, causing improper mineral precipitation. Some types of arthritis are definitely linked with an overabundance of cooked acidic-forming elements in the body from meat, and some types are also linked to irritants introduced into the body by eating cooked nightshade plants such as tomato sauce, french fries, baked potatoes, fried eggplant, tobacco, etc. For those with an exacerbated arthritic condition, I recommend against eating any meat and to avoid all nightshades, chilies, eggplants, peppers, potatoes, tobacco, tomatillos, tomatoes, even if eaten raw. I've noticed with some individuals that sensitivities to cooked nightshades may continue even when nightshades are eaten raw. Osteoporosis also occurs when the blood's acidity is high due to an excess of acid-forming foods in the diet. Remember, the quality of the food entering the body directs the quality of the blood and lymph. To balance an acid condition in the body, the blood must draw alkaline minerals from the bones. Dairy products are alkaline based on their minerals, but acid forming once the body no longer has the enzymes and vital energy necessary to metabolize them. An acid-forming diet over the long term, which leach minerals from the bones, leading to osteoporosis. To reverse an osteoporosis condition, please reference Lesson 14, Sapody-Brooks Kapnak chart. Use the Kapnak chart to consistently introduce significantly more calcium residue foods into your diet, such as lettuce, kale, collards, oranges, figs, broccoli, etc., in combination with the specific seeds, flaxseed, pumpkin seed, and hemp seed. Additional help with osteoporosis can come from adding progesterone, supporting nutritional supplements or foods in the diet. Coconut oil and maca powder are two excellent foods to help support the building up of progesterone for increasing overall hormone production. In conjunction with nutrition, weight-bearing exercise is important for healing osteoporosis. Horsetail, Equisetum arvense tea also seems to be highly effective in helping increase bone density. Trade out. After eating sun foods under the sun for a significant period of time, the body begins removing everything that is improper. This process will continue for several years until you become a rejuvenated being. As you continue eating raw, you will eventually replace every cell and restructure every tissue using high-quality minerals, nutrients, and positive energy that you are putting into your body. After a significant period of eating sun foods at 100% level, usually between 6 months to 3 years, the body will begin to purge acids and replace minerals. Mineral trade-out can be instigated by herbal cleanses, which tend to stir up toxic, acidic residues in the body and intestines. If one is eating a diet high in demineralized raw food, sweet fruit with low green leafy vegetables, mineral trade-out may occur sooner, usually less than 6 months. This is when the teeth problems arise, which is indicative of the body purging acids and also indicative of a lack of minerals in the body and diet, especially calcium, magnesium, iron, and silicon. At the point of mineral trade-out, one needs to take in at least 2.5 pounds of green leaf vegetables daily, 1/3 eaten, 2/3 juiced. Increase the intake of sea vegetables. Use up to 10 tablespoons of green superfoods, powdered grasses and algae, per day. Include more seeds to help synergize and utilize the green foods, and simultaneously cut down on eating hybridized sweet fruit and high-fat, acidic-forming nuts. Mineral trade-out signals to you that a deep cleansing and healing of the body tissues is taking place. It means your body has really gotten to the core tissues for replacement. This is a process of the good pushing out the bad. When you notice that your teeth are becoming stronger, this usually means you are past the period of mineral trade-out, which typically passes within a few weeks or months, even though it takes many years of eating high mineralized food to become remineralized. If you are unsure or confused on this issue, always err on the side of taking in more green juice and superfoods. And because teeth issues often arise when minerals are out of balance, always maintain excellent dental hygiene. The lesson of mineral trade-out is that eating highly mineralized food grown in highly mineralized soil is essential to achieve extraordinary health. When you eat, always go for the highest quality, highest mineral content foods available to you. Unfortunately, most commercial fruit trees are short-lived and are shallow feeders. The fuller and richer the taste of the fruit, the more minerals it contains. The roots of wild fruit trees go down from 10 to 25 feet. There has been no soil depletion. The nut trees that live for decades send roots 40 to 50 feet deep to mine the earth. Planting fruit and nut trees will help remineralize the earth because they pull minerals from down deep and deposit them on the surface in the form of falling leaves, fruits, and nuts, creating a fertile bed for gardening vegetables. See chart. Tree mineralization in Lesson 7, the Sunfood Diet. Remineralization. God sleeps in stones, breathes in plants, dreams in animal, and awakens in man. Hindu proverb. The yield, strength, and mineral content of raw plant foods, whether they are commercial, organic, or wild, is improved by demineralization. Remineralization is the process of loading the soil with crushed and pulverized rocks, which restore the full spectrum of mineral elements. The soil microbes, earthworm, and plant roots are directly nourished by an abundance of soil minerals. The research is in with soil expert and raw foodist Don Weaver. Don Weaver has demonstrated conclusively in the book, The Survival of Civilization, which he co-authored with John Hamaker, that plants and trees depend far more on the soil and its mineral content than they depend on climate to produce high-quality leaves and fruits. Insects always infest trees and other plants as pathogens invade people that are weakened by malnutrition and no longer have resistance to their natural enemies. The hybridized commercial crops grown today in weak demineralized soils are heavily sprayed with pesticides to keep the insects from overrunning the whole show. John Hamaker writes, "This question of the proper feeding of the soil is the crux of the whole food situation. For if the soil starves, so does the plant, and so do we. We cannot have healthy human beings without healthy food crops, and these depend entirely upon the healthy feeding of the soil. High yields depend on loading the soil with both a large surface area of available minerals and organic matter. Examine a stone other than limestone in the soil. Crack it open. Under a very drab demineralized exterior skin, you will see the minerals. That skin represents the depth which the microorganisms have been able to penetrate the crystal structure of the stone. When the rock is ground to dust, more skin is exposed to feed the soil microbes. One of the best fertilizers for trees and plants is crushed rock. When rock is pulverized, exponentially more of its surface area is exposed and more minerals are available to the microorganisms in the soil. In 1 pound of finely ground gravel, you have about 10 acres of surface area for the microorganisms to feed on. The mineralized rock dust you combine with your plant soil will eventually show up as a major difference in the size, taste, quality, and texture of the food grown therefrom. Any rock dust mixture that will give good growth and is found locally is preferred. Another substance containing fantastic remineralization qualities is dilute ocean water. Ocean water contains 90 minerals and unassailable monoatomic mineral elements. Ocean water is perhaps the most highly mineralized substance on Earth. Ocean water can be added to soils in 20 to 1 or 30 to 1 or 40 to 1 concentrations. Even more dilute homeopathic applications can be tried, such 100 to 1 or 1000 to 1 ratios. Interestingly, both Rudolf Steiner and Victor Schauberger seem to favor homeopathic methods for healing weak soils. Action steps. Mineral tradeouts. 1. Discover rock dust. Visit your local gravel quarry, ask for the chemist, get several bags of rock dust, they should be free, and throw and sprinkle the dust directly into the soil around your trees and garden. If local rock dust is not available, or if you would love more information about rock dust, please visit www.remineralize.org. They can provide you with the best information and the most economical sources of rock dust available worldwide. 2. Discover the power of using dilute ocean water on your soils, gardens, and indoor plants and sprouts. Pure ocean-grown concentrated solution containing a confirmed 92 minerals and no ocean pollution can be obtained from sunfood.com.
Ooh, that was great.
Yeah. Another solid chapter. Again, I say this every time, but he doesn't pull any punches. He doesn't add any fluff. It's just all right there, and it's just a couple of pages, but it's just so important. And I personally, for me, I think this is one of the most important chapters.
Well, it was interesting for sure. I could see why. Boy, we've learned a lot. I love that in the book, the picture to the left of lesson 19 is the pink rock salt, kind of a close up of the pink rock salt.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was good.
It was good.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we take away from this? I thought this one particular sentence here, I think, sums it up really well. And that is, this lesson is about minerals, because
Yeah.
it has been his experience in studying nutrition that minerals are far more important than vitamins.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I don't think I can remember growing up thinking that minerals were more important. You know, I mean, a lot of the people that I've listened to, you know, is vitamins. You know, you need to get your vitamins, get your vitamins.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of well, what am I thinking here? Just a lot of the, I don't want to say gurus, but I mean, the things that we've learned over the years, especially growing up as kids, there was not a lot of focus on minerals.
Yeah. But they certainly are important.
They are indeed.
Yeah.
So they are indeed important. So what would you say are your biggest takeaways?
Well, oh my goodness, definitely. I mean, it's a short chapter, but it was so loaded. You know, he's saying that vitamins are never an issue when eating raw, but then, like you said, minerals are more important than vitamins. Colloids,
Colloids?
okay, are the mineral building blocks of the body.
Yes.
And the points that he brought out there I thought were really great. Suspended in solution with energy. They're extremely small. They resist the pull of gravity. They conduct electricity through the body.
Mm-hmm.
Each plant mines a different spectrum
Yes.
of minerals from the soil,
Yes.
right? Providing a different nutrient to the body. That's just amazing.
It absolutely is amazing. You know, I mean, how does any one plant know to mine that specific mineral?
Yeah.
Right? And then, of course, we get the pleasure of you know, cooking or you know, creating meals with all these different plants in order to get the different minerals.
Yeah.
And so we get the joy of eating different combinations of things.
You know, it actually makes me think of Bitcoin mining. Right? Or just the whole concept of mining.
Yeah.
That a plant itself can do its own little mine job.
Right.
It's just really fascinating that you have that much intelligence within
Right.
nature. Right?
Absolutely. That's a great point.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's fascinating. So calcium lime is the primary leaf mineral. It makes up about 50% of the alkaline on Earth, right?
Yeah.
Found in all bodily tissues, but chiefly in the bones, teeth, and muscles. And we get it when we consume plant leaves,
Yes.
primarily, right?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was one of the things that I took away from this. Out of all of everything that we just read, in terms of what we're going to consume, consuming green leafy
Yes.
vegetables or green juices is more important than consuming fruit smoothies. You know, have a green smoothie as opposed to a fruit smoothie is better
Yeah.
off for you.
Yeah.
So that's probably the, you know, as far as what we choose to eat,
Uh-huh.
that's probably,
You think will have the biggest impact?
they'll
on
have the
what we
biggest
change.
impact, yeah. Particularly as later in the chapter, you know, he talks about high blood acidity and the impact that has on the
Yes.
body
Oh
with
my
arthritis
goodness.
or osteoporosis. And so, yeah, I mean, if all we do is to eat more green, and as much as I love fruit, maybe eat a little bit less fruit,
Yeah, I think we
You'll be
probably
better off.
should explore,
yeah.
experiment even with more smoothies. I mean, we've got a couple of smoothie recipe books that look really great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay, we're on. Some of the issues there with acidity were pretty serious.
Yes.
Yeah, it made me even wonder just about, you know, jaw issues or, yeah.
Like TMJ?
Anything that's draining,
Yeah.
you know, the bone.
That's leaching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And that makes me think of my dad, actually, because he's had arthritis problems over the last 5 to 10 years
a
or
lot
more.
of people get it as they get
Yeah.
older, right?
Yeah. So I'll have to share that with him to eat more green leafy vegetables and less meat, because I think he eats a fair amount of meat.
Okay, so let's see. Osteoporosis, yeah, arthritis. Some really great information, I think, there for anyone watching the slides
Yes.
or reading the book. Yeah, some great information there. And then trade out. That was kind of interesting. Or do you have some? Want to share some more stuff there? Dairy products are alkaline, but acid forming once the body no longer has the enzymes and vital energy necessary to metabolize them. An acid forming diet over the long term will leach minerals from the bones.
Yes, that's what I
leading
was,
to
that's what I was remembering.
osteoporosis.
Yeah. Leaching the minerals.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and again, I want to digress for just a second here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we get back to the systems of creation,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, here we have plants that are mining these minerals.
Mm-hmm.
They bring them up through the roots,
Mm-hmm.
through the trunk or the stem,
Mm-hmm.
and then into the leaves, and then we
Mhm.
eat the fruit of the leaves or the fruit themselves or something of that nature. And that's where we ingest the value of the plant, the the minerals, or
Yeah.
in some cases the vitamins, what have you. But also there's that process where the leaves will shed and land on top of the ground, and then they
Yeah.
remineralize
Yeah.
the soil. So
Yeah.
there's that reciprocal process
Mm-hmm.
of creation that just it's just mind-blowing to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Quite interesting. Okay, trade out. Oh, actually, on that one, it gave a recommendation: coconut oil and maca powder, that as being two excellent foods to help support the building of progesterone, which would help with osteoporosis.
Yes, and the overall hormone production.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because osteoporosis occurs when the blood's acidity is high due to an excess of acid-forming foods.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, trade out.
Yeah. So after eating sun foods under the sun for a sufficient period of time, the body begins removing everything that is improper. Here we go again, right?
Yeah.
These are systems. Now we're talking about within the body itself.
Yeah.
And how the body recognizes that it's taking in these wonderful nutrients, these minerals and vitamins too, and it recognizes that it's being fed properly, and it can now divulge itself of the divest itself of the toxins.
Oh my goodness, it kind of makes me want to just go off to a tropical place.
Yeah.
With lots of fruit and minerals.
Vegetables, green
and,
leafies.
Yeah, where you can actually pour sea salt on your garden. And
so what he also says here is that that this process will continue for several years until you become a rejuvenated being.
Mhm.
As you continue eating raw, you will eventually replace every cell and structure, or restructure every tissue, using the high quality minerals, nutrients, and positive energy that you're putting in your body.
That's just really inspiring.
Absolutely is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pink Himalayan rock salt. Now this is in the book. I don't know that it was.
I don't think we put it in the slides.
Yeah. That pink Himalayan rock salt contains over 80 different trace minerals.
Yeah.
This salt deposit was laid down in the distant past by an ancient ocean. So mineral trade out signals to you that a deep cleaning and healing of the body tissues is taking place. It means your body has really gotten to the core tissues for replacement. This is a process of the good pushing out the bad.
Yes.
I love it.
Absolutely.
Your teeth becoming stronger. Wow.
Mm-hmm. When you eat, always go for the highest quality, highest mineral content foods available to you. He says, unfortunately, the most commercial fruit trees are short-lived and are shallow feeders. I thought that was interesting too.
Yeah.
You know, whenever we commercialize anything, it tends to be less than.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. I remember from the slideshows that it was showing that 50 feet, that nut trees that live for decades send roots 40 to 50 feet
Yeah.
down deep to mine the earth.
Yep.
And that planting fruit and nut trees will help remineralize the earth because they pull minerals from down deep and deposit them on the surface in the form of falling leaves.
Yeah.
That's just amazing.
Yes. I'm gonna take a sidestep here for just a second.
Yeah.
What you just read reminds me of that video we watched. I can't remember what it was called, but it was about trees.
Yeah.
And how they talk to each other. Their root systems intertwine, and mushrooms and fungi are a big part of that ecosystem as well. And how there's so much communication going on. They'll even speak to each other in a way that will protect each other. If one particular tree, say, takes on an infestation of something, it will speak to the rest of them around so that they put out whatever they need to put out to protect themselves. It's just absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It is. Really interesting.
Yeah.
Remineralization.
Hindu proverb.
Oh, that was so good.
That was good.
Yeah.
God sleeps in stone, breathes in plants, dreams in animals, and awakens in man. I love that.
Yeah.
So here, this kind of goes to what I was just talking about. I forgot about this paragraph. Insects always infest trees and other plants as pathogens invade people.
Yeah.
So insects are to trees what pathogens are to people.
Yeah. To the trees that are weak.
Yeah. And they're weakened by malnutrition and no longer have resistance. And that, again, speaks to the communication that they have with one another.
Wow.
Yeah. The hybridized commercial crops grow today in weak, demineralized soil, are heavily sprayed with pesticides to keep the insects from overrunning the whole show. And here again, this is what we were just saying, you know, you commercialize anything. You commercialize a crop, you could commercialize forestry or whatever. I mean, you know, it's anytime you commercialize anything, it's going to take away from.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so we need to be mindful of that. So John Haymaker writes,
This question of the proper feeding of the soil is the crux of the whole food situation. For if the soil starves, so does the plant, and so do we.
yes,
We cannot have healthy human beings without healthy food crops, and these depend entirely upon the healthy feeding of the soil.
yes. And this is kind of, this to me is kind of what it all breaks down to. This is the bottom line. And, you know, we know with our current circumstances that, you know, there's a lot of talk going on now about food shortages and farmers having challenges and all that sort of thing. And so there's a lot of people that are turning to their own gardening. And so one of the things that I took away from this reading was that if, you know, for those who are turning to their own gardening, be very mindful of your soil. There's probably nothing more important than a really good soil that's highly mineralized, and that you maintain that as you go. And what I've heard recently from somebody I was listening to, it took them a season, like a full year season. You know, they planted in their garden and they had some good success, but as they began to treat and take care of the soil the way it should be, the following season their crops and their you know, the vegetables they were growing were like night and day. It was just an amazing transformation. And this year's bounty was far superior to last year, and that's because they're taking care of the soil. And so one of the things they did was to take the rock dust and right, and spread that out over the soil.
This was the first time I'd heard this before.
Yes.
But I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, they do suggest, you know, going to your quarry and getting rock dust and putting it in your garden. I thought that was amazing.
Combine it with your plant soil. Will eventually show up as a major difference in the size, taste, quality, and texture of the food grown therefrom. Yep. Yeah,
and then another substance containing fantastic remineralization qualities is dilute ocean water.
Ocean water.
Diluted ocean water. Ocean water contains 19 minerals and unassignable monoatomic mineral elements.
Monoatomic.
Okay. Ocean water is perhaps the most highly mineralized substance on Earth.
Wow.
So yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Ocean water can be added to the soil.
Yeah. So great chapter.
Yeah.
And of course the action steps. Let's one, discover rock salt.
Discover rock salt. Rock dust. Discover
yeah.
rock dust. And then the power of dilute ocean water.
Yeah.
And both of those components or elements can be added to your garden to help your garden grow.
You know, I think seeing this chapter, like I was saying, started off with the pink Himalayan salt, which I know that I feel good when I use that in food. But the fact that we are part rock, that's what really kind of got me in this chapter, right? You know, you're dirt, you know that we're part dirt, but the fact that we're part rock is, which I guess dirt is kind of part rock, but it's just, I don't know, it's just kind of interesting.
Absolutely.
You feel you're really a part of the earth.
That's such a great point. Because we are, right? It's how we were created.
I mean, but we've talked earlier about water, how much we are water.
Yeah.
Right? 60% of us is water, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
But we're dirt, we're rock.
Yeah.
You know, we're mountain, we're tree, we're, you know, leaves are what we're supposed to be eating. I mean, we're just, it's like it's all one thing.
It's one ecosystem, and that we all need each other.
Yes.
All these different plants need all the different plants, and we need them, they need us. And the breath that we breathe out, they take in. You know, it's just such an amazing ecosystem.
Well, I love this book.
Love it, indeed.
I love this chapter.
Yep. So chapter or lesson 20 is coming up next, and that'll be on teeth. So stay with us, and hope you've enjoyed this particular episode, and we look forward to sharing our next lesson with you. Anything else you want to share?
No, I gotta go drink some water with a little bit of Himalayan rock salt in it.
Nice. All right, very good. We'll see you next time. Bye now.